everybody, Josh Sigurdson, a World Alternative Media here, and of course we're joined by author and economic analyst here at WAM, John Sneisen. And, well, according to Zero Hedge, Russian central bank bails out Otkritie Bank, country's largest private lender. And, John, you can go into this better than I can, so what's going on?
Well, what's happened is that, of course, there's been a little bit of a slowdown in these bailouts or bail-ins, as you can call them. So now, of course, we had Montepaschi that got bailed out. We had Banco Popular that got bailed out just recently. But then it was kind of a slow, nothing happened. You know, it was all good times in the banking system until just a couple of days ago when Otkritie Bank actually got bailed out by the central bank of Russia. Now, just to tell you a little bit of facts, what Otkritie Bank has for assets, they had 29,000 corporations as customers, 163,000 small, medium-sized enterprises. They had 3.4 million individual accounts as well, and apparently a whole bunch of high net worth clients that they had.
So clearly they're not small.
No, the bank had over 400 offices across Russia, so it had even 22 regional branch offices. So what that tells you, it's a substantially big bank. It's of course not the biggest because there's a lot of state-owned banks, unfortunately, in Russia. So you can see the old communist era is not completely gone from Russia.
Yeah. But what led to the bailout?
Well, what led to all of this is what really started back with the Rosneft bailout back in the 2000s when Rosneft was on the verge of collapse.
Yeah.
And basically Otkritie Bank or a Shite Bank.
It was known as Shite Bank.
Shite Bank it was known as before. They came in with capital and actually lent to Rosneft back in the day. And what have happened over time, of course, is that was a terrible deal, trying to bail out one of the biggest oil producers and private oil producers in Russia. So what has happened now, of course, that came back to fruition where they just didn't have money, and people would not have been able to pull money out of their bank accounts. It would have been complete chaos if Otkritie Bank went into, of course, bankruptcy, which is where they should have been.
It would have gone to shite.
It would have gone to shite, exactly. So now what's happening is, of course, the Otkritie Bank got bought up by the central bank, and now the Russian central bank owns the shares.
Oh, great.
So it became another, was the biggest private lender, but now it's, of course, owned by the government again. So now there's one less private lender. So it seems like Russia is more of grows into a bigger and bigger centrally government-controlled banking cartel instead of course, the private banking cartel.
So they're really gaining, they're shifting power over to the state.
To the state. That's what it looks like here. Because, or else they would have just let it go to a bail-in. But then, of course, you would have had probably a lot of contamination into tons of other banks around Russia and a full panic in the monetary system. Not just in Russia, it would just completely
it's gonna pour over
into Europe and everywhere else.
Definitely a contagion.
Because there's so much cross pollination of debt and derivatives in the banking sector. So of course, if somebody defaulted on their debt, like Otkritie Bank might have done, it would have just cascaded into the whole world with a monetary tsunami. We're just waiting for one of these bigger banks when suddenly there's too many banks to bail out or bail in that there's nothing left, and then the whole system is just going to collapse in on itself. That's where we're going. This is just the tremors, the Montepaschi, the Banco Popular, the Otkritie Bank now. These are just tremors of what's coming in the next big collapse of the monetary system, and not just the monetary system with the government debt, but we're looking at banking debt, all kinds of debt, are so much overextended, and of course a lot of debt that are non-productive debt today, like big corporations have been buying back their stocks by borrowing money from banks. So it's a lot of unproductive, a ton of unproductive debt there that are not really doing anything to create anything of value or grow and make nice products or innovate for the general populace anymore, right?
Everything's entirely based in debt, and Russia isn't off the hook on that one. I mean, a lot of people like to play the BRICS countries against, the UN countries.
They're all the same.
Western countries.
Banking system is all the same. It doesn't matter. No borders matter with the banking system. They're based exactly the same wherever they are. They got the fractional reserve banking system in place, and they're all a big cartel. They might not work completely together, but they definitely are, on that same wavelength. Everybody's doing the same thing, defrauding the populace.
Well, how much is this going to cost the taxpayers? That's another one.
Well, yeah, that's another big one. So we're looking at a market cap of 260 billion rubles. Now, that's, money that's going to be pushed onto the taxpayer and everybody that supports the Russian government. It's the same old thing, it was done all over the world in 2008, and everybody was livid about, how they got defrauded, and actually bankruptcies were just saved by all this money just shoved out from the governments, giving it out to everybody, and then without asking the taxpayers that are actually running the government about their opinion on doing a bailout of these corporations. So again, it's just continuing to go on and on and on this thing, and we're looking at the year to date return on Otkritie Bank is minus 17.44. Now, this bailout doesn't necessarily mean that Otkritie Bank is going to be safe. It just means that they saved it for now.
Well, I guess the bottom line is don't trust banksters. No matter where in the world you are, you'll always end up with the same situation in the end. And with that said, be financially responsible and be self-sufficient, because you can never trust the government or the banking system. That's always the way it's been, and it's always the way it will be. So thanks for going into this with us, John.
History repeats itself.
And until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson and John Sneisen signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change. Like what you see here at WHAM? Don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We can't do it without you. Any donation is very much appreciated, especially as we are so vastly demonetized and censored by YouTube, as they bring in the Anti-Defamation League to flag all of our content as so-called hate speech. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Also, check our Bitcoin address in the description in the comments, as well as on the screen for you to scan, if you please. And don't forget to check me out at Josh Sigurdson at steemit.com. That's steemit.com, the future of social media, where you get paid in cryptocurrencies, Steem that is, for your upvote and demand of your post. Until next time, check out this word from our sponsors.
Are you looking to exchange a large amount of US dollars? Don't overpay with the bank on currency exchange. Think outside the bank. Banks charge unnecessary fees of up to 3%. Truth be told, currency exchange with the bank will cost you hundreds to thousands of dollars. Start saving now. Step 1. Register online. Visit our website and click Get Started. Step 2. Book a transaction. Phone us for a quote and to complete the transaction. We'll need to know which currencies you are converting and how much. Step 3. Transfer of funds. Once you confirm the transaction, we initiate an electronic funds transfer from the account that you choose. Your purchased funds are then transferred back to you in the account that you choose within 1 business day. It's that easy. Start saving hundreds of dollars on currency exchange with CBCE. Sign up online or give us a call today.